I'm Carlos Jimenez Flores. I'm Puerto Rican, and I do not sell drugs. And you're listening to Harv Roman in the morning at WCGO 1590 AM.
Hi, I'm Darlene Vasquetellas, and I'm here having a great time this morning with Harv in WCGO. And guess what? I am Puerto Rican, and I do not sell drugs.
There are things that we want to talk about, but first, let's introduce the people who are here. There's a former club kid right in front of me behind the microphone. How are you? It's Carlos Jimenez, everybody.
How you doing? Good morning.
This is a club kid gone good, and I didn't realize this until one day we were on Facebook. I don't know who I was chatting with, and all of a sudden, here's Carlos. And he says, I was a club kid, and I write books, and I make movies. And I said, we got to interview you. And we never quite got around to scheduling an interview. I was waiting for holidays and things to pass, and then all of a sudden, topics happen.
Yes.
There's another distinction with Carlos, which is very, very interesting. You are one of the few who managed to go to both Wells and Clemente, and that doesn't happen often, because usually if you went to Wells and you were a Blue Raider, you kind of didn't like the Wildcats too much, and if you were at Clemente and you were a Wildcat, you were anti-Blue Raider. How is it that you managed to go to both schools and escape?
Well, when I first of all, I was a high school dropout, and then when I came back, I had moved to Puerto Rico, and when I came back, I was a dropout, hanging out in the streets, and I kind of wanted to go back to school because there was really nothing for me on the streets. And a friend of mine took me to Wells. He was a senior at the time, and that's how I enrolled in Wells. And I was playing baseball in Wells, but also in a semi-pro league. And I was the youngest kid on the team. It was a men's league, and one of the ex-baseball players of Clemente, who was drafted and played for the Pirates, he kind of like saw my skills, and he was like, dude, you got to go to Clemente. So I transferred in my junior year, and that's how I ended up in Clemente my last 2 years, and I played baseball for them.
That is a horrible story. So we lose you on Ashland, they gain you on division, and it was all because of a major league ball player. There's a guy that played with the Mets also that came out of Clemente, so you guys got some lineage over there.
Yeah, that was Victor Diaz. That was in the 90s, but I played in the 80s. I'm kind of dating myself right now.
Exactly. He played with Joey G, the pizza guy, who's over there on Grand Avenue now. And then sitting next to you, let's introduce ourselves to Darlene. And there's like every letter in the alphabet in your name. I do not want to mispronounce your name.
You know what? You would win in Scrabble if you put her name on the board. You would totally win. It'd be like 180 points.
This would be the one that nobody would ever get on Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to let you tell us who you are.
Hi, good morning. I'm Darlene, and the last name is Vasquetellas.
Vasquetellas. I should be able to get it right because I am Puerto Rican, but I don't sell drugs, and neither do you.
Of course not. And that's why we're here. We're promoting.
You know, it's an interesting thing, and if you go on YouTube, you're going to look at a video, and it talks about Puerto Ricans being insulted, and there's an actor who is given a line, and it's a 27-second clip, and there are going to be some people that'll say, what's the big deal? It's just a line. It's a TV show. That show's probably not going to last forever anyway, so what's the big deal? So let me ask you guys, what's the big deal? Because you're here, and I'm here too.
Well, it is a big deal, and I'll tell you why. When you do humor, if you're laughing at the expense of any culture, then that causes injury. And the negative stereotypes, if we believe them as children, as young adults, then we're gonna embrace that instead of the positive images that we are, because there's more positivity about our community than negativity. However, the people who control media and other areas, that's, to me, in a personal way, that's a form of suppression. So I just don't like to, when it comes to jokes, had they just said the joke, if they would have delivered the line and the guy would have just said, oh, I'm good at selling drugs, okay, we didn't identify any group. But what made it offensive was that they felt like they had to identify a group. And by identifying a group, they chose Puerto Ricans. Had they said Mexican, Japanese, Filipino, Irish, Italian, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have still been the same outrage because they're targeting a certain group so that they can laugh at. And to me, that's not humor. That's not intelligent humor.
No, it's interesting that you talk about that. Off the air, I talked about having interviewed George Lopez recently, having interviewed John Leguizamo at one point, and in both of those interviews, if you click on wakeupdancing.com or just look for the interviews, you'll find them online. Both of them early on said, I will not take this type of role, I will not take that type of role, and this is why. And you're talking about the early 90s. So here it is, 2011, and all of a sudden there's a 2012. Well, last week it was 2011. But it is Three Kings weekend, and I should know this already. So it is 2012. But now it's 2012, and yet you still have a group of people that could get categorized as this after everything that everybody's gone through to try to reclaim, you know, everything between the flags of steel and beyond.
Yes, and it hurts. It hurts, and it's like he says, right now we're, you know, we have this movement, and it just happened, and it had to do with Puerto Ricans. But I think just stereotypes, come on, it's 2012. It should be over. It should be done. There are other shows out there that are promoting the Latin culture, and I could mention the show Rob, which will be starting soon. It's like, why not use the media just to promote positive things instead of going back to the whole stereotypes, to the whole, you know, era of West Side Story and all that. And I think, and for future generations, one thing that I want to mention about the video that we're doing, we have kids involved in it. And it's beautiful because these are kids saying they're already working in this movement or breaking the stereotypes. So when they're, you know, when they're older, they don't have to deal with it. If it's going to be working in acting, is it going to be working for the government, any type of job, they're not going to be dealing with all these stereotypes.
Yo me voy pa Puerto Rico.
Borinquen me llama
A comer bacalaíto.
Borinquen me llama
Es la isla del encanto.
Borinquen me llama
Por eso la quiero tanto.
Borinquen me llama
Yo le dedico este canto.
Borinquen me llama
Es la tierra de mis padres y también de mis hermanos y de todo borincano, los de allá y los de Chicago.
Borinquen me llama Borinquen me llama
And with so many people focusing on who's the latest person to get pregnant and who's the latest person to get locked up, not enough for focusing on what I called Club Kids Gone Good. So we sat there with Gino and with Johnny, and we did an interview, and we put it online, and we put it on the regular radio. And people started going, wow, there are club kids that are doing pretty good things. And Carlos, I mentioned that to you when we were chatboxing not that long ago. I says, hey, you're one of these club kids gone good. We need to have a talk. And now we're talking. And I kind of wish it was a positive, and it is a positive thing, but it kind of began as somewhat a negative moment.
I mean, it is a positive thing, but you know what? Every situation, if it's a negative one, is still a learning experience. It's an opportunity for open discourse. And in this situation, I mean, I feel blessed that, first of all, that I was working and was able to have Darlene come on in the project. She's my lead actress in this movie. And when she brought it to my attention at first, because we're in the middle of the week, I wasn't really like, it didn't hit me. It hit me. Right, she was always on the phone when we weren't shooting her scene. She was always on the phone. I was wondering, why are you on the phone so much, man? Like, damn, I'm not even. We worked together on our last movie, which should be out soon, and then I decided to hire her for this movie and make her my lead actress. But it finally hit me yesterday morning when I woke up, because finally the stress of the first week of shooting was over. We're halfway done. And I guess my mind opened up, and then it registered what she had told me. But out of that incident, you know, here's an organization born. We have decided to make it a nonprofit organization. The papers are going to be filed tomorrow morning. I've already spoken with my lawyer. The name has been cleared, and so this is going to become, this is what I mean, this is a movement. This is more than just the incident, because if it was about the TV show, we would have been done today.
So is it fair to say that this is about reclaiming the culture and reclaiming the stereotypes, reclaiming the perceptions that some people have of, you know, Latinos in particular, and maybe young people in particular, above and beyond whatever happened on TV last week?
Yeah, that's the purpose. That's our main objective. But to be honest, this has happened so fast. I had not sat down with Carlos to see what is our next project, what's the next step with the organization. Everything just happened, I would say, in less than 24 hours. So, but I'm very excited, and I'm all about, like I said, it's not only about, you know, helping our fellow Puerto Ricans. It's about anybody out there, even if they're not Latinos. It's about breaking any type of stereotype, African Americans, Asians, whoever. It's just, I don't know, we all have to come together. That's peace for me.
It's an amazing thing. 24 hours after 27 seconds, you got this huge movement.
2012.
The thing is also that, you know, at first we were receiving, we set out yesterday to get videos from people in Chicago because I'm from here. And next thing you know, we started receiving videos online through my email from the Midwest. And the next thing you know, we're getting videos from New York, Florida, DC, LA, and it became national. And then this morning, I got a video from Holland, from a Puerto Rican in Holland. And when that happened, you know, I started crying, you know, because like, this went global. This went global in less than 24 hours. And, you know, we didn't.
Well, no, it's good though, because a lot of times when things go viral, when things are YouTube based, it could be some girl singing about cats, and all of a sudden she got auto-tuned, and then she gets 8 million hits singing about that she loves cats. And I'm not kidding. Me and my son were online. That's why it's in my head. But now you've got something that's affecting a lot of people, and it's a positive thing. And we've kind of tap danced around it a little bit, and I don't want to run out of time. I do want to talk about, Carlos, your time at the club, but I also want to talk about what we're actually asking people to do. Obviously, this is going to air after the taping at Casa Puerto Riqueño, but I'm assuming that it's going to continue. So what are we asking people to do?
Even if they don't make it, because we plan to edit the videos between tonight and tomorrow, even if they want to record something on Wednesday, because they are loving it. We're getting these videos and people are excited, and the videos, like I said, is goosebumps, because you see the anger, the passion, you see it in just 10 seconds of these people doing the videos. If they want to still do the videos, send them over, because we have a page on Facebook. Carlos will post the videos there, and eventually we can do a video part 2. And who knows if we end up with 10 videos of people around the world, because they can keep coming in.
And the page is named Puerto Rican Alliance for Awareness. Is that what the page is called?
On Facebook, yeah, the page is, but you can, if you type facebook.com /PRA awareness, PRA awareness. That's the fan page on Facebook. We're also on Twitter, so you can follow us on Twitter. And same thing, twitter.com/PRA awareness. We're also going to create a YouTube channel, and that's where we're going to debut all the videos that come in after we shoot our documentary. We will put all the videos, every single one, every voice is important to us. Nobody is going to get deleted. Not one person will get deleted. The world will see the light, and we're going to show every single video on our YouTube channel.
This is an incredible thing that you're talking about. You're talking about YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and MySpace. And 15 years ago, you may or may not remember because you guys are really young, but there was a Seinfeld episode, and Cosmo Kramer's at the Puerto Rican parade in New York, and he accidentally sets the flag on fire, and so he stomps on it, and there was so many letters and calls. Back then, it wasn't clickety-click. It was people writing letters and making phone calls. That NBC never ran that episode again. The only way you could find it is if you just happened to have it from back then. So it's not new for something like this to happen, but the kind of awareness now, like Carlos and Darlene, you're saying, is amazing because you go from one click to a million clicks in just a few minutes.
Yeah, it's social media.
And so basically they're introducing themselves, what they do now, and what they do not do.